And good morning, everyone, here on Facebook Live. We are streaming the first day of the Smoky Mountain Conference Volleyball Tournament. You're only going to see JV action today, 2 matches on tap. First up is the number 3 seeded Robbinsville Lady Knights against the number 6 seeded Andrews Lady Wildcats. Our next match this morning will be Swain County, who is the 4 seed, against Cherokee, who is the 5 seed. Good to have you with us here on Facebook Live. The Graham Star is streaming Robbinsville athletics all season long, and the Lady Knights very fortunate to be hosting the conference tournament this year. So we're going to do all we can to bring you complete coverage of this event. Beginning this morning, we'll have 2 matches. Then we'll have matches on Monday, Tuesday, and culminating with the championship matchups on Wednesday. Lady Knights set to go against Andrews this morning here from Robbinsville High School. And it's good to have you with us wherever you may be. Trying to get woke up this morning, maybe a little sleepy-eyed, but that's all right. We'll bring you action as you get woke up this morning. That is Olivia Stewart set to serve for Robbinsville as we begin things here in Graham County. The Smoky Mountain Conference Tournament underway. It's served by Stewart. There's Americus LaQuire saving that ball, and Carly Clark tries to bump it over for Andrews, but it'll go out 1-0 Robbinsville here in set 1. Another hard serve by Stewart. LaQuire sets. Addison Dartez tries to knock the ball over, but unable to clear the net. 2-0 Robbinsville. Stewart played the role of libero until just a few weeks ago this season for the JV Lady Knights. Now see Abby Adams filling in that role on the back row. Hard shot by Clark, greeted by Liz Carpenter on the back set, and a shot by Claire Barlow. Goes flying out of bounds. Give Barlow a kill. 3-0 Robbinsville here in set 1. And a whiff on that makes it 4-0. Give Stewart an ace. Hard serve, low serve, but a successful serve. 5-0 Robbinsville here in the first set this morning from Graham County. Matchups throughout the week, of course, will be taking place after school. Dartez tries to save that one, and some effort continuing by Andrews, but the ball finally drops. And the Lady Wildcats are going to have to take a second to figure out what is going on. 6-0 as we stay with you here on Facebook Live. I've already had one hit this year. We had that JV football game against Cherokee, and one of the games they played, or one of the songs they played during a timeout got flagged, I guess, by Sony Music. Back with you, 6-0 from Robbinsville High School as we're bringing you the first matchup in the Smoky Mountain Conference Tournament this year. JV action coming your way here on Facebook Live. This is Robbinsville, the 3 seed, against Andrews, the 6 seed. And Olivia Stewart with another ace. Has 3 so far. And the Lady Knights have opened up a quick 7-0 lead. Another good serve. Addison D'Artes there to greet that, but a slam by Claire Barlow. 8-0 Robbinsville. That drops on the back row. A little miscommunication. And Andrews is going to try to fix the situation on the back row with a substitution. Meanwhile, Olivia Stewart feeling some good vibes early this morning here at Robbinsville. 9-0 lead. And 4 aces to her credit so far. Barlow to Taya Owl, back to Claire Barlow. Hard slam in. 10-0 Lady Knights. Barlow did a fine job of finding the corner of the court. D'Artes meets that on the back row, and now Clark with a return up front. Owl to Stewart as they try to keep the shutout going. LaQuire sets. Shot goes to Liz Carpenter, set by Taya Owl. Now Fela Welch takes her first crack of the matchup. And Andrews trying to get in a groove now. Their offense been unable to get out of first gear so far this morning. And a good mad scramble by Andrews trying to save that one. But the volley goes to Robbinsville. Lady Knights now leading 11-0. Good serve by Stewart. Good dig, though, to save it. Hard shot by Andrews. Good dig by Robbinsville that time. Owl to Stewart coming in out of frame, and now Owl with a push back over to Andrews, set by Americus LaQuire, but Barlow spikes the ball, and it is point Robbinsville. Took a moment for the officials to decide which way that call should go. 12-0 Lady Knights. Addison D'Artes with another good reception on the back row for Andrews. And LaQuire and Clark get tangled up with the net, but somehow manage to save the point. Here comes Owl to the back row. LaQuire can't get to that one. Off the bump, 13-0 Robbinsville. Take nothing away from Stewart's serves, as she's got 4 aces already this morning. D'Artes with a nice dig on the back, and now tries to bump it over, but unable to clear the net. And it's 14 zilch. Lady Wildcats have got to find some answers quick, or they're going to be down 1-0 in this match. Remember, in junior varsity action, it's only the best of 3. Tip by LaQuire, dig by Owl, Welch to Olivia Stewart, who runs in from the back. Set by LaQuire. Here comes Carly Clark, middle hitter, but it goes straight to Owl. Set by Stewart, push back over by Taya Owl. And that one into the net. 15-0 here in set 1. Andrews tries to get the ball returned. 16-0, and Andrews takes it second time out of the set. Lady Knights in full control. And welcome you back here on Facebook Live. You're watching the first matchup in the 2021 Smoky Mountain Conference Volleyball Tournament. The number 3 seeded Robbinsville Lady Knights hosting the number 6 seeded Andrews Lady Wildcats, and the first set going all Robbinsville's way. And Robbinsville finally gives up a point. Net violation by Claire Barlow. Lady Knights went 16-0 to begin this match, but now Addison D'Artes will serve for the Lady Wildcats. Dig by Liz Carpenter. Owl to Claire Barlow, bumps it back over. Marcus LaQuire greets that. Clark with a two-touch return. Barlow smack over the net. Makes it 17-1 here in set 1. And for just the second time so far, we'll have another Lady Knight to serve. It'll be Fayla Welch, junior Lady Knight. New to the program this year's. Transfer from Cherokee. One of 2 players that came over from the Lady Braves program in the offseason. And Welch steps back to the line and promptly records an ace. 18-1 here in set 1. Served by Welch. D'Artes again on the back row. LaQuire to Clark, and the push back over. Good to go. Now here's Barlow, still dangerous there at middle hitter. Clark will bump it back over for Andrews. Set by Owl. Here comes Claire Barlow with a hard shot that Addison D'Artes got a handle on, but couldn't get it in the right direction, and it's 19-1 Lady Knights here in set 1. Another good serve by Welch. And there's a shot by Clark to the back row. It's going to drop in. Liz Carpenter thought that one was going to go out, and Andrews now trails 19-2 here in set 1. Americus LaQuire will serve for the Lady Wildcats. There's Stewart on the reception, and about takes out Helen Ward over on the Robbinsville bench. 19-3. Here in set 1. Set by Owl. Here comes Barlow with a spike that's going to drop right in. Nicely done. 20-3. Lady Knights quickly pulling away with set 1. Barlow getting her first chance to serve this morning. LaQuire with a good dig, but it's going to fly out on the return. And Claire Barlow has got Robbinsville 4 away from a 1-0 lead here in the first matchup of the Smoky Mountain Conference Tournament this year. Barlow gets another ace. 22-3, your score here in set 1. Helen Ward subs in for Robbinsville, and we're back underway. Clark in the middle. Carter Clark with a good shot to the back row. There's Stewart to play it off the rafters. Helen Ward tries to get under it. 22-4 here in set number 1. And that is Carly Clark set to serve for Andrews. Lady Wildcats trailing 22-4 here in set 1. Owl passes back to Welch, who gets it over the net. Addison D'Artes bumps it, passes. Return complete for Andrews. And now Ward again tries to bump the ball in the middle. 22-5 is your score. Another hard serve by Clark. And that one drops into no man's land at the net. 22-6 as Andrews desperately trying to make up some lost ground here in set 1. Owl to Tia Hall for her first touch of the game. Shot in the middle goes to the back row to Fela Welch. Owl passes back to Welch. He'll smack it over. D'Artes there for the good dig. And the ball drops. Claire Barlow couldn't get under it at the right angle. 22-7, your score. Set by Owl. Helen Ward with a tip back over for Robbinsville. Welch, Ward, Owl, and back over to Andrews. Hard shot. There's Welch saving that one for Robbinsville. Nice effort. Olivia Stewart now bumps it back over for the Lady Knights. That one barely clears the net. Still in play, though. Owl will push it again for the Lady Knights. And D'Artes sends it weird angle on that ball. Helen Ward tried her best to get a hold of that and couldn't do so. Liz Carpenter will check back in for front row defense. 22-8 is your score here in set one. Carly Clark still serving for Andrews. Set by Owl. Here comes Liz Carpenter in the middle. And LaQuire able to finish off that recovery by the Lady Wildcats. That time, though, ball eats up. Carly Clark on the back row. Carpenter with a good kill. And it's 23-8 for Taya Owl, looking to close out the set one victory. Oh, with a nice shot. And Clark tries to dig it out, but it goes flying into the home bleachers here at Robbinsville, and it's set point for the Lady Knights. Owl sends a fastball into the net, and Andrews will get one more crack at it. I got a lot of room to make up, down 24-9, but anything is possible. Serve makes it over. Barlow receives. Set and a smack by Liz Carpenter. Andrews looks like they're going to save it. LaQuire misses it, though, and that's going to do it. Robbinsville takes set one here in the JV tournament opener. 25-9, back with you in 3 minutes here on Facebook Live. And we welcome you back here to Robbinsville High School. You're watching the first matchup in the 2021 Smoky Mountain Conference Volleyball Tournament. JV action only on tap this morning here from Graham County. Addison D'Artes records an ace for Andrews. And Lady Wildcats have a quick 1-0 lead here in set two. Robbinsville prevailed in set one, 25-9. D'Artes again. And Abby Adams, the libero, tries to get a bump on that one, but ends up sending it out of bounds. 2-0 Andrews. Lady Knights come into this as the number 3 seed in the bracket. They will face, I believe if I have this correct, Murphy on Monday. Should they pick up the victory here in set two. That one goes out. Robbinsville on the board here in set two. It's 2-1. Check out that match is going to be Tuesday. The JV semifinals will take place Tuesday. The winner of this one will play Murphy, the number 2 seed. Robbinsville, the 3 seed. Andrews, the 6. Stewart that time, after a wonderful streak to begin set one, serves into the net. And it is now 3-1 Andrews. Americus LaQuire serving for the Lady Wildcats. Carpenter with a good dig. Owl sets. Here comes Fela Welch. Ball trickles over. And it's now 3-2 for Fela Welch. Thank you for tuning in with us. Early morning volleyball. No better way to start off your Saturday with us right here on Facebook Live. Served by Fela Welch. And it's going to drop at the net. 3-3 is your score. This matchup this morning will be followed by Swain County versus Cherokee. The number 4 taking on the number 5. And that'll be all the action we have for you this morning here from Robbinsville. Another ace for Welch off the reception attempt by Addison D'Artes. It is 4-3 now. Most of Robbinsville still asleep. I'm sure they celebrated well into the night last night after that game-winning field goal by Cody Klein. Black Knights defeated Murphy last night 23-20. Absolutely phenomenal game. But meanwhile, we're back in volleyball mode. Set by Owl, tipped by Barlow. Point Andrews. They're going to say Barlow broke the plane. That's her second violation of the match. And it's 5-4. So we're seeing a much more competitive set here in set 2. Andrews didn't get on the board in set 1 until Robbinsville had ran up a 16-0 advantage. Ended up cutting it to 25-9 by the end of the set. Claire Barlow gets another ace. Aces all around this morning for the Lady Knights, who now lead 7-4. We will not be bringing you commentary, of course, for the non-Robbinsville matchups throughout this tournament. Quite frankly, I don't think my voice box will hold up for that. But we will have the camera on, zoomed out, so you can watch your respective teams as they play their way through the Smoky Mountain Conference tournament. Playoffs begins next Saturday. State playoffs will be underway. Of course, Murphy and Robbinsville all but guaranteed a spot in the postseason. Cherokee is the third-place team in the varsity conference standings this year, having a very good season and could pick up a game. Owl tries to pass the ball to her teammates and nobody there for it. It is 7-6 and Diddy Brooms calls a timeout for the JV Lady Knights. And welcome you back here on Facebook Live. It's now 8-6 Robbinsville here in set 2 of the tournament opener. Taya Owl gets an ace for the Lady Knights, as it's now 9-6 Robbinsville. Lady Knights fortunate to be hosting the Smoky Mountain Conference tournament this year. Set to host it last year, but of course COVID threw a wrinkle in everything sports related in North Carolina. Volleyball season actually spilled over between November and January of this year. No tournament held due to COVID restrictions. And we're still powering through the pandemic, but things are well contained at this point. Enough so we can have the tournament here in Graham County. Howell continuing to serve. Andrews is going to have to call a timeout now as the Lady Knights have scored 3 in a row and now lead 11-6 here in set 2. Back with you from Robbinsville. You're watching junior varsity volleyball action. First matchup of the Smoky Mountain Conference tournament. The number 3 seeded Robbinsville Lady Knights against the number 6 seeded Andrews Lady Wildcats. Robbinsville leads 11-6. Clark with a good dig on the back row to save that one for Andrews. And now the return, of course. Howell passes to Fayla Welch. The ball still in play. And the War Wits at the net, won by Robbinsville. Ball dropped right in front of the Andrews side of the net. 12-6 Lady Knights. Thank you once again, folks, for tuning in this morning with us here on Facebook Live. This will be the only morning session we'll have of the tournament the rest of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 days straight of matches. But they will all be played in the afternoon, of course, after school. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Punch by Tia Hall goes out, and it's 12-7 now here in set 2. Monday will be the beginning of the varsity bracket. We'll have 2 varsity matchups on Monday. Serve goes out. Point Andrews is 12-8. Hayesville will play the winner of Swain County and Cherokee on Monday in the junior varsity matchup. Hayesville, the number 1 seed on the JV bracket. And then the varsity action will get underway. A lot of fast-moving parts to the net there. Andrews will take that point. That fires up the Wildcat faithful on hand this morning. Following that JV match Monday, Cherokee will host Swain County. That's the 3 seed against the 6 in the first varsity matchup of the tournament, followed by Hayesville and Andrews in the nightcap. That slam goes into the net, and it's 12-10 as Christina Jenkins looks to check in for the JV Lady Knights. Andrews piecing together a nice run this morning, trying to get back in things. Set 1 did not go their way, and the Lady Wildcats trying to claw back in and force a third set. And they're well on their way doing that if they keep up those kind of serves. Robbinsville stacks them 4 deep on the back row, trying to come up with an answer. As Andrews now down 12-11 here in set 2. That serve will go out, and that breaks the streak for Andrews, who had scored 5 straight. And it'll be time for Abby Adams, the libero, to serve for Robbinsville. Welch with a tip at the net. Good read. Somehow a push by Andrews gets over. Point Lady Wildcats. It is 13-12, and we're seeing a seesaw battle. That serve goes into the net, though. Point Robbinsville, and Liz Carpenter will now serve for the Lady Knights. 14-12 matchup. Set by LaQuire. Return by D'Artes. It does the trick, and it's 14-13. D'Artes will now serve again for Andrews. That one drops in front of Liz Carpenter on the back row, and it's all knotted up. 14-14 here in set 2. Addison D'Artes will serve again for Andrews. Carpenter on the reception, bumped by Stewart, will clear the net. Carly Clark right there to greet it. LaQuire sets for Clark. And Liz Carpenter on the back row reception. Now here comes Barlow with a shot over that Andrews will successfully defend. Ball drops in, and the Lady Wildcats lead again here in set 2. It is 15-14 Andrews. As the back and forth continues here in Graham County. Look at served by Addison D'Artes. 16-14 here in set 2. Pass by Stewart goes over to Fela Welch. D'Artes hits the ball, but nobody there to greet it for Andrews after that. Second touch goes unfounded, and it's 16-15. Olivia Stewart will serve again for Robbinsville. She was at the helm when the Lady Knights went on a 16-0 run to begin set 1. That age ties things at 16 all. High serve by Stewart. D'Artes greets on the back row. Now here comes LaQuire at the bottom of your screen. Owl to Stewart, back to Owl. Hard bump to the back row for Andrews. LaQuire sets for Carly Clark. And there's a nice bump over by Liz Carpenter. Now Barlow sends a shot over. Carly Clark again. And the back and forth continues. LaQuire with a push over. Tip, and Welch couldn't clear the net. And Andrews prevails on that back and forth. It's 17-16 Lady Wildcats. America's LaQuire with a line drive over the net. Here comes Welch. That's going to drop in point Robbinsville. And we're all knotted back up at 17 here on Facebook Live. Fela Welch backing up to serve for the Lady Knights. As Robbinsville hoping to get out of here with a 2-set sweep in the first matchup of the tournament. Winner of this again will face Murphy on Tuesday in the semifinals. Championship matches will take place Wednesday. Single elimination format. Carly Clark will now serve with Andrews back ahead 18-17. Welch to Owl. Here comes Carpenter, who will push it in for the back row. LaQuire gets it passed around for Andrews. And now Barlow with a shot in the middle for Robbinsville. Ball drops. Point Lady Knights. And it is 18-18 for Claire Barlow, who was serving when Robbinsville closed out the first set. LaQuire with a quick return for the Lady Wildcats. Here comes Carpenter. Her spike slams into the net. And it is 19-18. Andrews back ahead as the seesaw battle continues here on Facebook Live. D'Artes with the reception. Now here's a shot in the middle that will I'll give Andrews that point. Carpenter got a little too close for comfort up front. And the Lady Wildcats lead 20-18 here in set 2. Owl to Carpenter. Hard shot over. There's Barlow on the reception. Owl sets. And now Tia Hall with a smack over, greeted by Carly Clark on the back. D'Artes with a hard shot. Barlow tries to save it. Good effort by Barlow and Fela Welch trying to keep that one alive. But Andrews will take the point, and Dee Dee Brooms will call another timeout for the Lady Knights. It's 21-18 Andrews here in set 2. We might be getting a third set here in Robbinsville. Andrews has just scored another point as we welcome you back here on Facebook Live. It's 22-18 Lady Wildcats here in set 2. Stewart passes over to Owl. Tia Hall sends it careening out of bounds, and it's 23-18. Andrews salvages the point at the net, and Robbinsville now has a chance to respond. And that time Andrews breaks the line. 23-19. Taya Owl will now serve for the Lady Knights. Suffice to say, both teams have woke up after the early start this morning. We tipped off around 9 o'clock. Set by Owl. Carpenter comes running in, and nobody there to greet that one for the Lady Wildcats. Robbinsville still trails, though, 23-20. After taking set 1, 9-25. Hard shot by Owl. And the return by Andrews. Here's a set by Owl. Tia Hall's shot will drop in. And the Andrews fans not happy about that call. That was right on the corner of the court. That call could have went either way, honestly. And it's 23-21 now. Robbinsville still trying to rally late here against Andrews. Winner of this again will meet Murphy on Tuesday in the semifinals. The winner of the Swain County Cherokee game that follows this morning will play Hayesville on Monday at 4 o'clock. Carpenter sends that one into a nice hole on the back row for Andrews, and it's 23-22. Lady Cats have to call a timeout, and we'll pause with them here on Facebook Live. Set point for the Lady Wildcats. It's 24-22 here on Facebook Live as Andrews trying to force a third set in the JV tournament opener from Robbinsville. Barlow to Owl. Here comes Tia Hall in the middle with a nice tip. LaQuire sets, shot, goes to the back row, but Fela Welch right there. Here comes Carpenter. She finds an open hole on the Andrews side of the net, 24-23. And Robbinsville gets the call. We're tied. 24-24. Tia Hall still serving for the Lady Knights. Well, we're going to see some free volleyball here this morning as these two teams try to battle it out in the conference tournament opener. Owl sets. Here comes Liz Carpenter. Ball greeted, though, by Andrews. D'Artes sends a shot to the back row. That's trouble. Robbinsville saves it, though. D'Artes right there. Stewart with a nice shot over. There's Americus LaQuire with the reception, and now she'll bump the ball back over to Robbinsville. Barlow to Taya Owl. Here comes Welch on the outside. LaQuire has plenty of time to set there. A shot over by Andrews. Both teams battling valiantly late here in set two. And a little misdirection. Advantage Robbinsville, 25-24. But Tia Hall's serve will go out. Abby Adams will come in for back row defense as libero, and we're all knotted up at 25-25, so the battle wages on. Stay with us, folks. We'll be here for the Swain Cherokee matchup that will follow this morning. Ball trickles away, and we'll try another serve here for Andrews. Barlow to Owl. Here comes Welch with a nice tip. LaQuire sets. Carly Clark in the middle again. Owl receives. Carpenter bumps it back over. Robbinsville resets. Clark with a good bump over for Andrews. Set by Owl. Shot by Carpenter to the back row, and that's trouble. Point Robbinsville. Give Liz Carpenter a kill, and she'll now have a chance to close this two-set victory out this morning for the Lady Knights, and it'll advance them to the semifinals of this tournament. And that one goes out, so we'll battle on. 26-26 is your score here in set two. Remember, got to win by two. D'Artes with a high serve to the back row. Olivia Stewart greets that one. Owl to Fela Welch, who sends a shot out. Point Andrews. And now the Lady Wildcats have a chance to force a third set. Hard shot. And that's going to do it. Andrews has forced a third set. They take set two, 28-26. And we'll come back with you for the tiebreaker, 1st to 15, here in about 3 minutes on Facebook Live. We're back with you here on Facebook Live. You're watching the junior varsity opener of the 2021 Smoky Mountain Conference Tournament. We're all knotted up one apiece between the number 3 seeded Robbinsville Lady Knights and the number 6 seeded Andrews Lady Wildcats. Barlow's ball trickles over the net, returned by Andrews. Saw a war in set two. There's Carly Clark on the return, but it drops on the net. Point Robbinsville, 1-0 your score. Olivia Stewart heads back to serve. Lady Knights prevailed 25-9 in set one. But Andrews, in a hard-fought set two, prevailed 28-26. Bringing us to this point, 2-0 Robbinsville, though, here in set one. In the tiebreaker, of course, it is a race to 15. High serve by Stewart. Plenty of hang time on that one. Clark will smack it. Blocked at the net by Barlow, and Andrews will try it again. That one's going to drop in. Three nothing is your score now after that disputed call. Looks like Robbinsville will take the point. Addison Artez with a bump back over for the Lady Wildcats. Pushed by Tia Owl. Clark with a push over now for Andrews. Here comes Fayla Welch on the outside. 4-0 Lady Knights. LaQuire now, hard shot over, returned. Carpenter now, Owl sets for Barlow, and that goes flying above the Swain County faithful at her own hand. Of course, Swain Cherokee follows this match this morning here on Facebook Live. But right now, Robbinsville is up 5-0 in the tiebreaker in our first match of the Smoky Mountain Conference tournament. And we welcome you back here on Facebook Live. 5-0 Robbinsville here in set three of the junior varsity tournament opener against Andrews. Olivia Stewart serving for the Lady Knights. There's going to be the set by LaQuire. Carly Clark in the middle with a spike over. Robbinsville receives, returns. Barlow now with a bump over for the Lady Knights. Now here comes Clark again. High arcing shot. Abby Adams saves it on the back row for Robbinsville. Welch now on the return. Clark scrambles, and that's going to fly out. 6-0 Lady Knights. Clark mistimes her shot. 7-0 Robbinsville here in set three. Lady Knights prevailed 9-25 in set one. Andrews won 28-26 in set two. And now Robbinsville well on its way to a set three victory. Owl sets. Barlow push. Andrews saves a good job on the front row by the Lady Wildcats. Hard shot by Barlow. And nobody getting that ball on the ground over there. Owl to LaQuire to Clark. Abby Adams saves it. Carpenter. Tia Owl tries to save it in the net, but unable to do so. Runs out of room. Andrews on the board. It's 7-1 here in set number three. Shot by LaQuire. And looks like a line violation on the serve against LaQuire, and it'll be 8-1 now for Fayla Welch. Returned. There's Carpenter. Taya Owl sets. Claire Barlow sends that one to the baseline. And it's 8-2. Andrews still battling. Carly Clark will now serve for the Lady Wildcats. We've had folks inquiring about our coverage of Robbinsville volleyball this season. And we got a very disputed call here. Hold on just a moment. They'll have to replay that point. No one knows what to call. The ball looked like it dropped in, but we're going to try it again. 8-2. Clark will serve again. We do have varsity volleyball action archived on our YouTube page. And now we're going to have a temporary interruption here. We'll pause here for just a moment here on Facebook Live as we try to get everything sorted out. As we were saying, Robbinsville volleyball action is archived on our YouTube page, and once the season is over, we will release that for the public and try to do our very best to bring that to you. We fortunately do not have the junior varsity action archived. 8-2 is your score here in set number 3. We have a fan being escorted out of the gymnasium. Very vocal this morning. Very passionate. And I believe once now they're out of the gym, we're going to be able to resume action. 8-2 here in set 3. And we thank you so much for staying with us here on Facebook Live as we try to get all this action sorted out. I believe we got it all sorted out now. The replay will begin. Of course, the disputed call led to some sore feelings on the Andrews side of the net. Fan tossed out here this morning. But we'll roll on. 9-2 Robbinsville. Claire Barlow to Addison Dartez. Returned by the Lady Wildcats. Tipped by Liz Carpenter, able to keep it alive for Robbinsville. Now a return by Andrews. Barlow greets that on the back row. Now here's Tia Hall. That one is out. 9-3 is your score here in set 3. Andrews will serve. As we said, coming up next will be Swain County versus Cherokee. Pass made by Barlow. Carpenter could not get her jump time just right. 9-4. Andrews still serving. We will, however, as we were mentioning earlier, we will have this action available on YouTube at the end of the season. We're going to try to save all the Smoky Mountain Conference tournament action, JV and varsity, that we stream for your future viewing pleasure on our YouTube page. You can find us on there under the Graham Star. Robbinsville is going to take a timeout now as they have a 9-5 lead, but Andrews has scored 3 in a row. Nine 5 is your score here in set 3 as we welcome you back to Robbinsville High School, bringing you the 2021 Smoky Mountain Conference Volleyball Tournament. This is match 1. Robbinsville and Andrews meeting in junior varsity action And an ace for the Lady Wildcats makes it 9-6. Robbinsville led 7-0 just a few minutes ago. Andrews not going down without a fight. There's Stewart. Here's the set. Tip over. And a mad scramble at the net for the Lady Wildcats. Cannot be salvaged. 10-6 Robbinsville. And now Taya Owl will serve. For the Lady Knights. Hard shot over. Carly Clark greets on the back row. LaQuire passes. High return. There's Claire Barlow on the back to receive for Robbinsville. Tip over by Carpenter. 11-6. Shot over. There's Fayla Welch. And the slam into the net goes nowhere. 12-6. Robbinsville eyeing the victory. They're only 3 away from putting an end to this one. Swain Cherokee waiting in the wings. They'll be up next. Addison Dartez with a mad scramble, but it's going to hit the bleachers out of bounds. Lady Wildcats will pause for a moment to think things over. Robbinsville's put together 4 in a row and now lead 13-6. We are back with you here on Facebook Live. It is 13-6 here in set number 3. Robbinsville trying to put this one in the win column. Winner of this matchup will face Murphy on Tuesday in the junior varsity semifinals. The winner of the Swain Cherokee matchup next will face Hayesville in the semifinals on Monday. First of 3 from Robbinsville on Monday. And the Lady Knights very close to closing this one out. Carpenter's tip cannot be greeted in time by Addison Dartez, and now it is 14-6. Comes Owl again with a hard serve. That's going to drop, and that's your ball game. Robbinsville prevails in 3 in the JV tournament opener. Final set scores 9-25, 28-26, and 6-15. So congratulations are in order for the Cherokee Lady Braves, the number 4 seed in the junior varsity bracket, picking up a 3-set victory over Swain County. They will face Hayesville on Monday. Hayesville, the number 1 seed in the tournament. Final set scores from this one: 25-16, 18-25, and 15-13.